It's like he's like opportunities are rare and they come on like the seasons. A man
Mm.
can't force spring in the winter. It's like throwing seeds on frozen ground and
Wow.
calling yourself busy. Pretty much.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that. I love that
I love that.
psychology on
I
that.
love
I
that.
love that.
I love that, bro.
I
It's the
love
best,
that,
bro.
bro. It's the best.
It's the best, bro.
What's up, you two? What's going on, man? Opening bell, post FOMC. We're here, guys. We are here. We are here. Pulling up my roadmaps on my big charts here.
Good, sounds good, everything good.
Sound, everything looking good. We got new all-time highs in the indices this morning. I mean, in the equities, excuse me. New all-time high on the yes. New all-time high on the Nasdaq. New all-time high on the YM. New all-time high all across the board. YM is trading in previous day range. ES is trading in previous day range, and the NQ is broken out. Got the NQ leading, YM lagging, ES unch. And that's what we're looking at right now. Looking at breakout rules. Breakout rules continue, man. Breakout rules continue. So we're here. We're chilling. Let's see if we get need the Nasdaq to really do a need the Nasdaq to do a pullback, get back to the previous day range, and then we'll probably be looking at having a situation. Tech has been lagging pretty much even yesterday when YM made a very extensive move. Tech was lagging that whole move, so Tech's kind of catching up now. So we probably won't have a pullback under previous day high, but we'll be around to see. Right now it's 9:30, so we're early. As you can see on my charts, they're already set up with the Asia, London high and low, the overnight session high and lows. Pink lines for Asia, blue lines for London. Green lines are daily zones. These higher zones were red, but as you can see, price took them over, so we turned them into demand. So I'm all set. Got my charts set up. Got my execution charts set up down here as well. And that's about it, man. So just gonna take it easy. Like another day of patience. But we'll see what happens, man. Just gonna relax to about 11:30. See if we get a pullback on the Nasdaq, and then we'll be able to kind of take it from there. So it looks like we're gonna get a good signal on the lagger. But if the Nasdaq is broken out, as you guys have been seeing, those breakout days, you can identify the lagger get a clean signal, and the fact that another equity is broken out, that's kind of like the only equation that can kind of stop out a clean signal as far as the lagger, a 15-minute candle agreeing with your bias on a level. You know what I'm saying? Those have been getting wrecked, while the other products have been broken out. You'll take the lagger, thinking you can take the buy, and then it's getting folded. So overall, man, 9:39, slow open here. We get into it. I have my boys Top Step X. Fast Markets is live right now, so we'll let them boys rap. Let me know when Kevin is live, partner, so we can get that news going. And that's gonna be it, man. Nice chill Thursday. Hope everybody traded safe yesterday. Still alive to trade today. Other than that, we here, boys. Get comfortable.
Quarterly options expiration. This movement last night, some really funky stuff could go down between now and Friday afternoon. So act accordingly.
Act accordingly. Like JD says, keep one eye on the ditch. Quarterly is the big one, Jack. Quarterly is the big one.
Yes.
Looking to see if we get
Yes,
any
it is.
headlines coming out right now. Not really anything. We know Trump and Starmer were having a press conference a little bit early. Not seeing any comments out of there, but seeing the equities continue to sell off here. 24,652 last trade in the Nasdaq. Now we are below the opening range. S&P 6681 last trade over there, and gold is continuing to sell. 3669 last trade in gold. Crude oil, it's not giving us any favorable price action on that short. 6379 last trade over there in crude.
All right. Look around the Mag 7 real quick. I've put Broadcom in it, but Amazon's down nearly 1%, Tesla down 0.7, Nvidia, of course, up 2%, Google up 1%.
Thank you for that, Jack. A
And
little bit of a mixed bag there. We got settlement all in the Nasdaq, all the way down at 24,465. And we talked about this early, right? If we don't, do we see continuation of the gap? Right, we had a gap to the upside, almost about 1% in the Nasdaq. Is the market attempting to fill it here? How big of a pullback are we getting? Is the question.
Yeah, I remember Hogue said it on TV a week or two, maybe 3 weeks ago. When we had these overnight rallies to all-time highs, he said the markets don't like that, and they usually give them back. And
Yep.
yeah, it's just like all that buying pressure that we saw in the overnight session. As soon as some real volume kicks into this market, we are just selling lower highs. VWAP's breaking down, low a day got taken out. So this selling's pretty aggressive. Definitely going to wait for it to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that overnight inventory, they're just giving it up, right? Where if we're long, if I'm long from the overnight and I'm up 200 points, if New York wants to come in and continue buying it, sure, I'll hold on to that position. But if there's no supporting volume, like you said, Braden, when some real volume comes in, if they don't support it, we see everyone run for the exit, right? And that's why we get, a little bit of the selling here. Really no buying pressure above 24,700s in the Nasdaq. And we're 60 points below it now. 24,640 last trade there. 66.78 last trade in the S&P. Jack, I know you said you were looking when we were up in the 90s. You're looking for about a 30-point pullback. We're about a quarter of the way or third of the way there right now. Gold continuing to sell off.
yeah, I wanted to get back to the yesterday's close in the ES around, exactly 66.62. Those who know. Before I start looking
Great
to
call.
buy this, there's I think right off the open we got a lot of people closing out calls, etc. And yeah, that was a real interesting move last night.
What a call, Jack, on that close yesterday. We got settlement in the S&P 66.58.75. Jack's call of 66.62 for the above below in the S&P hit, right as the bell rang yesterday. So really great call there.
Yeah,
Gold made new
and
lows on the session, 36.66.50. I've seen a little bit of a bounce from there. Go ahead, Jack.
and there's no magic. It's just that the SPX closed at exactly 6,600, and there's currently like a 62-point spread between them. You will see that it won't always work, but tomorrow, especially, be looking at the options levels towards the end of the day, because it was kind of the only strike that there was any action going on at that point, and every time it spiked, people are covering below their covering, and it tends to go to the point that will F the most people, as we say generously, which would be that level.
60. There were some comments in the chat. How did Jack do that? What was the magic? And there you go. Looking at the SPX, the
Yeah.
underlying asset for the futures. Gold continuing to make new lows here. 36.63 last trade in gold. New lows on the day and continuing to sell here. Where are they taking this market? The equities look like we're selling here as well. 66.74 last trade in the S&P. 24,620 last trade in the Nasdaq. Seeing some really nice selling coming in here.
Mm-hmm.
I got a
This
value area. Yeah, go
this
ahead,
is
Brad.
really weak. Really weak. I just quick comment. Really weak. Really weak. This might get dangerous here, actually.
So we got a
It did. We'll
value
We'll
high.
see what happens once they just wipe out the overnight longs, right? That's what I'm kind of waiting for.
With you there, Jack. We got a value high in the Nasdaq and Hogue's weekly kickoff level as well, 24,545. Maybe a potential target to the downside. Devin Haney, that's the first time I've heard that one. I look like Devin Haney. There we go. Crude oil selling a little bit here, 63.70. Chat, let us know if you guys are in any trades right now. You are watching #FastMarkets. Make sure you tag us on socials with those trades as well. Take a screenshot, maybe take your profits before you decide to take a screenshot. Tag us on Twitter or on Instagram. We'll share those later in the day. Share your trader setups. your wins, any funny memes that you have. Hashtag fast markets on socials.
Guys, 10-year the yield keeps inching up. That's not what
Yeah.
we want to see here. So that would put me into things being heavy. That's what surprised me so much. That yields were spiking last night and the stocks were up so much.
A little bit of a
We
divergence
get-
there, Jack. You would not expect that.
Not in our climate right now. Remember, that's the point of these rate cuts. They aren't to let the banks borrow cheaper overnight. They are theoretically, we want interest rates down for things that people use interest rates for, which are usually loans. And the 10-year is great kind of benchmark for where mortgages are.
Seeing a little bit of a bounce here. 24,620s last trade in the NASDAQ. We're about 30 points off the low of that move. Gold bouncing as well. Gold made a low there of 36.60 and a half. Last trade 36.68 in gold. So a little bit of a relief there. Maybe buy the dip opportunity. Seeing some size here in the S&P as well. Got 1,000 offered at 66.75 here, Jack, in the S&P. Still rollover stuff or what?
I think people just got way over their skis last night. And you
Yeah.
know, it's not like we're not returning to anywhere shocking. We're going back to right where we closed and right where we were before Powell spoke too. So
Right.
you know, there's now like an
Yeah.
80% chance of a half a point in cuts by December. So
They said 10 points away.
Fed, bond traders are aligned here.
171,
We
that's
have
big.
marching.
That's big, bro.
Guys, look at this unicorn here on the time and sales. 948, 66.75 price on the ES. 971 buys, bro.
Do
That
the
is
math on
that is massive, bro. And that's live orders. That's hitting the tape. That's no eval, Synfund. That's live cash. 971, right off of. I mean, they're pretty much buying Asia low. Stop under last week high type of deal.
It was a little stuff in the last week.
Dang, boy, that was huge. Just wanted to notate that. That's kind of unicorns you can see on the time of sales. That's
That's
crazy.
why you watch time and sales.
That's crazy.
Time and sales 10 and up.
Never
It's
do you
It's
wrong.
not too much information. You only gonna see those well orders.
Yeah, you see them well loaders. That's what you want to see.
That's all you want to
That's all
see.
you wanna
Everything
look out
else,
for.
the
Everything else is
under
kinda
10
noise.
I mean, even actually 10 is like nothing. Could be a spook or something, but 971.
971, boy. That's crazy. You can see how. I mean, sheesh, bro. Price literally 10-point bounce.
Back over these daily levels.
Yep. Yep, this campaign is still going. M&Q sitting on breakout levels. Alright, man. Yeah, I'm finna chill. It's probably gonna be a no trade day for your boy. 950. That's what it's looking like.
You already know.
Kevin Love. You know,
So,
get some news. See what's cracking.
just for 5 minutes late.
Alright, cool. Alright, guys. About to stretch my legs. We'll let fast markets play out. Shout out to Top Step. We're here, guys.
We
Got
did
a
make
VWAP
overnight.
test. It broke right through. Wow.
Still below
What the
VWAP in
bounce
the
here.
ES, but it's ripping up to it right now.
Wow.
These are. Tell you, with the
NASDAQ up
expiration
about 100
tomorrow,
points in 5 minutes.
these are going to be some swingy markets.
Braden, you talked about it, right? Ranges are increasing. I'm seeing a ATR on a 1 minute at 22 points in the NASDAQ.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
22 points.
22 points on a 1 minute. That is $400 in 1 minute. How many people can afford to be wrong, over leveraged with that type of those type of swings? Gold back up to 36.72 here. That's looking at a VWAP from the equity open, kind of testing that in gold right now. What a bounce here. There are some ranges to trade, right? 100-point move in the NASDAQ since the New York session open. Crude oil's back at our entry, 63.64 here. House is short from 63.63 evens. I guess 63.63 is not an even, but you guys get what I mean. We saw a heavy long tilt there, Jack, in the NASDAQ got down to 72% short. We're back up to 61% long right now. 74% long tilt in gold off of this bounce here. Gold made a low 36.60 and a half, $13 from that price. Good patience here, Braden. Good
Yeah.
patience here.
Yeah, I kind of want to see. I mean, it's a nice bounce. I'm not just going to FOMO into strong buying, but I would like to see if we pop above 700s and hold and create some more support there. We'll look to get in.
Saw some calls in the chat. Richard Harris was looking for a 66.82 in the S&P on a retest after that sell-off. Back up at 88. It's a nice call, Richard. Coach Hoop saying we talked about this price during the opening call in gold, 36.60s. Came down there and seeing a nice bounce from here. Markets are moving right now. Chat, if you guys are in any trades or if you've taken any profits, make sure to tag us #FastMarkets. Let us know in the chat what you're looking at. But of course, trades come first. Trade first, talk later. Let me do the talking for
Been
you.
some resistance. Yeah. Been some resistance here around VWAP. Last 3 15-minute candles have kind of topped out right here. Looks like we got a little bit of selling again.
Yeah, right there, Jack. 66.91 VWAP in the S&P overnight VWAP. Got a New York session down at 82. Nice bounce there. Markets are volatile. No real news. No real news as far as planned numbers go. Of course, we know unplanned news this year has taken center stage, right? A headline comes out or something like that. Even though, more recently it has seemed like, some of the jobs data and things like that has been affecting the markets. But of course, if there is a headline that comes out to move these markets, we will let you know. But as far as planned numbers go, I think the only thing we're looking out for today is that natural gas number in about 35 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, the jobless claims this morning were kind of back to normal, kind of back to where they were. I think we have to be careful about the inflation numbers will have a real one-to-one effect where a hot inflation number would be bad. Cool one would be quite good, right? But the jobs are now a little bit more murky because the lower they or like the worse they are, the more rate cuts we get, and the better they are, the more it might seem the Fed's off sides and they start worrying about inflation again.
Interesting stuff there. We do have a minor number coming up here in a couple minutes, about 5 minutes. U.S. leading index change month over month. Don't think we had that one on the economic calendar. Jack, what is that number looking at?
What was that
You
number
have any
again?
idea? U.S. leading index change. What are we looking at there?
You got to admit when you just don't know. This
Yep.
wasn't ever a number that I don't
Anyone
know how
cared
long
about?
it's been around, but it wasn't something that we really cared about.
Yeah. There you go. Minor number doesn't show up on our economic calendars. Does it have the potential to move the markets? Maybe.
What's it
I
called?
guess in that case, U.S. leading index. Yeah. Gonna have to Google that one because not too sure myself there, Jack. Rejected at the high of that opening range, 1 minute opening range, 24,650, right against VWAP there, and the S&P as well. Looks like we may get another leg down here. Let's see.
Yeah, so Jay, I guess it's kind of like a dowsing rod. It's published by
Okay.
the Conference Board. It's kind of trying to predict the future 6 to 12 months out.
Nice.
Wow.
Sounds like a job where you can be wrong and still be right. Right? Doesn't matter. Right? It's like, oh wait,
Of
our
course.
projections were off. Let's look another 6 months out and see what we get from there. And YH8, you're catching on to me. When in doubt, ask Jack. That is the plan.
Yeah, what's what you talk about predicting the future? It is funny whenever you look at the dot plots for the Fed. It's
Yeah,
like the Federal Reserve, where inflation is always 2% 3 years from now. Never wrong, no matter what's happening. In 3 years,
right.
inflation is always 2%.
Always 2%. Always 2%. We are coming up on the top of the hour here. It's been 26 minutes so far, and we've seen some movement in this market. High to low range in the NASDAQ. We got about 115 points, kind of sitting in the middle of that range right now. 24,650 last trade there. 66.79, 66.80 last trade in the S&P. Crude cannot give us any price action below our entry here. Like the entry algo is running in crude, saw where our entry was and just keeps bouncing from there. We're short from 63.63 in the house, last trade 63.76. Gold saw a little bit of a bounce, say not a little bounce, $15 off that low. Got a little volume here now trading in the NASDAQ.
Yeah, we just flashed up like 40 points in
Yep.
a couple seconds.
Yeah, you see that in the S&P as well, Jack. About 1,000 contracts traded in a second there. That's the second one we've seen in the S&P since the open. About 500 contracts in the Nasdaq, and a nice
Yeah.
spike there off those 50s. Interesting stuff going on.
Yeah, we had 3,000 ES trade in a second there.
We're trading some size in this range.
All right, guys, we still here, man. NQ is still in breakout territory. We're still under breakout rules right now. About to get our specs from our 4-hour candle in about 2 minutes, eh?
Yeah, 2 minutes, and we're going ahead and grab the high and low, just getting the close.
MNQ still, as you can see, still over this white line right here, which is previous day high, so that's breakout territory. Head over to my MES, and we're about to go ahead and get the final lines in. Already got my SL4, my spread 4 from the 2 to 6 candle. As you can see, the spread 4-hour played out with the 2 to 6 candle short from all-time highs. This candle is gonna spit out a SL4 of right at that all-time high zone.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect SL4.
Start checking that one out.
Yes, man. So that'd be the thing. Those like
It's either happening, but when it's not happening
me?
in our time, it's happening. It still has happened.
it's happening in the
before.
Asia session
Yeah,
or
Asia
London
London,
session.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna happen.
Get to chasing that, and that bitch flipped back to New York.
You just doing extra work from there.
Yeah, for that.
All right, so I got an SL 4-hour sell 67.18 correlated with that new all-time high. So all-time high short for the SL 4-hour on the ES as of right now.
That's what you got. SL4. I thought it was a spread buy. Somebody was spread buy, right?
SL4 is so you get your SL4.
So you get both.
You get both.
You get both.
SL4 red candle, so your SL4 is going to be the shortest 67.18.
Take it here or there.
The spread 4, which is the different signal, the bottom signal, is going to be a buy at 66.20. Can you start that?
Sorry.
It's going to be a buy at
60.
was it 66.70?
Yeah.
So that'll be correlated to the Friday high. So 66.70 buy with a stop render to 66.62 last week high. Yeah, so decent.
We got Thursday high and Monday high right here. Really showing that it's literally a 7-point trade right there.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, so and that's like straight off my trading plan. That's the trade I would want last
Yeah,
week.
that's what I
Last
got.
week high long, that would be great. So that's cool.
Yeah, it matches up with all the information in the pre-market plan.
Mhm.
Spit out last week high one, and had a spread for our state.
All right, about to finish up my run plan with that information there. What's the anchor yourself right now? 93 in the middle of the candle.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, but like I said, it's a
You got two levels
daily
right
level
here.
right there. Yeah,
Wednesday high
if
right
This
here.
was like if we didn't have breakout rules, it would be clear to say that you could buy at Thursday high and your stop could be up at Monday high. If
Yeah.
it was breakouts, yeah.
Are we shit, we over Wednesday high. Good. All right, yeah, breakout rules are in effect.
Yep.
Nothing else to. All right, go ahead and notate this on my run plan, but so right now breakout rules are in effect.
Yeah, all products.
All products here. All right, so we got a low on this 4 hour of 66.70. Last week high zone 66.62. High of the candle 67.18. It's gonna be new ATH. It's gonna make the spread for a 66.70 long. Last week high long. 66.70 last week high long. Stop under 66.62. SL 4 hour on this red candle would be a 67.18. ATH short. Poopy doopy. Well, whoop de doo. Alright. Leading, we got NQ. Lager, we got YM. Lunch, we got ES. Current anchor on the ES, 66.94. Over yesterday's high in the middle of the candle. It's breakout, screaming no trade.
The laggard 4 hour candle is 500 points low. 46.295 with a high of 46.70.
Yeah, so really we would be, if this wasn't breakout rules, then we would be looking at the YM for the trade.
See the YM at fucking 10, right off the fucking 4 hour low, green smack the candle. Crazy. Temptation right at 10. You got the signal right at
All
10.
the temptation in the
You got
world
the signal on the lagger right at 10.
to
man.
break your fucking rules.
Literally. Literally, that's so crazy that it always blows my mind.
It does
Go
that.
Check that. It does that a lot.
It does that a lot.
It does that a lot,
It
bro.
does that a lot. That's crazy. That would have been so this would have been a great trade.
Yeah, it would have been a great trade. Great time to take it.
Great time would have been taking it right here. Just the breakout rules, man. Breakout
Yeah,
rules in
just
effect.
gonna do it. Yeah,
Just
I don't care.
severely lowers it makes the trade not even worth taking, bro, to be honest. Severely lowers the probability. Like this is working now, but every other day that I haven't taken a trade because of a breakout, that green candle that just showed off the level, like this is my A plus signal. That green
Right,
bullish
yeah.
engulfing candle off of what, Monday high, Tuesday high, bro. Be all over. That's my A plus signal. The only thing that makes that trade a 50-50 is the fact that NQ and ES is broken out and they just gotta unch back a little bit
Yeah,
to stop me out, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So gotta take it. Gotta take it for what it is.
Yeah, but it's like for real. That's like this is studying, bro. This is like
Yeah, this
when
study.
You're not supposed to take it. You need to be.
This when you
studying.
you gotta
This when
study
you
it,
gotta
like the
study
book
what's
said, like
going
you gotta
on.
study it
And
like
you
the
see
ops.
You see why like we haven't been able to get anything. It's like look at the pattern breaking out. It's like well we specifically haven't
Yeah.
been able to get anything.
Yeah, we're getting a clear divergence between what the YM doing and what the NQ and ES is doing.
Yeah.
NQ and ES pulled back all the way to, YM pulled back all the way to Monday high, where ES and NQ pulled back to yesterday high, and barely, and
Yeah.
took off. You feel me? Yeah. So this SL4 would have been nice on the YM. SL4 would have been a Monday high long, right? What the candle just said. Spread 4 hour would be a spread 4 hour long. Excuse me. Spread 4 hour long at Monday high. Yeah, so that would have been, that's a perfect situation, but the fact, the breakout rule, it's like, I put that on and you taking L's, mud.
Yeah, I just can't do it. I mean, even you can see how like even on the 15, the candle didn't give no kind of weight.
No kind of wick,
You
no
got
kind of
some
pullback.
points plus they even.
Yeah.
I mean, this candle closed at
Where they close at?
46, 427. stop needs to be under 46,295. You know what I mean? So that's literally just with the close.
With the
like,
close, what's
candle,
that?
427 to 295. That's 100. That's over 100 points.
Yeah.
It's 130, 140 points. It's outside of budget.
Outside of
one
budget.
is 100.
It's
two
100.
is 50.
How
You
much-
ain't gonna get in that bitch.
You said 130 points to get it under after that
130.
close on the 15-minute candle.
Yeah, it never pulled back.
Yeah, it never
It's
pulled.
130.
No way.
You know what I mean?
And
No
that's
way.
and look at that, it's just providing a bad situation.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that looked cool, but that literally is a
We still wouldn't have been able to take it because we couldn't afford it.
yeah, I couldn't afford it. Even if I was not on the breakout rules, I couldn't afford it. But yeah, this is what we'll be looking at. SL4, spread 4 hour
Spread 4 hours.
long
4 hours.
on the Monday high. And the only reason it's a spread 4 hour is because you see this 4 hour candle is a sell candle.
Yeah, well over 2 to 1.
So it's a large sell candle, well over 2 to 1 from the low of the candle to the high of the candle. It's a red candle, so the SL4 is going to be a short of 46,705, which is all-time high short. And the spread 4 hour, because I'll be taking the spread from the low back up to the high, is the buy of Monday highs on it. You feel me? So that's just the language right there. All right, yeah. So I got all my signals. I got breakout rules in effect. Get my run plan to the T. That's it, man. For real, most of this job is gonna be waiting, gonna be patience. Just think about anything else, bro. It's like, for real, people succeed doing what other people don't want to do. Nobody wants to sit here, watch charts, not trade, be bored.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Ask yourself,
saying?
if the person you're watching, if they're taking a trade every day, are they trading or are they entertaining you?
Yeah, like, ask yourself that. That's why you gotta watch what influencers you're taking in. Like, you gotta go to it's like the Bible, bro. You gotta go to the bare bones of the business and find out the real information, because a lot of this stuff is fluff. Think about, like, the traders you're watching every day. Even if you're looking at Top Step TV, you know what I'm saying? It's like, for real, the house account is taking a trade every day, and it, for real, it's not even meaningful. The house account has a drawdown of 50,000 a day. They stopped putting on meaningful trades like in the first 6 months of Top Step being open, when they were having $30,000 losing days. The first 6 months of like Top Step TV growing to what it is right now, they were really taking real trades and them having like $30,000 losing days. Now they just throwing on a MCL trade that they're putting on before half of you guys are even looking at the charts. You know what I'm saying? And getting on about that
Yeah,
way.
never
It's an
been-
entertainment
yeah.
trade. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's not. The loss ain't gonna mean nothing. The win ain't gonna mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? If you're the people you're looking at, they gotta take action every day. They're entertaining you, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, for real.
You're not gonna get that here. You're not gonna do that.
That's not what this is here. It's like the first edge that you're gonna have here is being able to outweight and survive
The masses.
the masses. Like, you're gonna beat the 90% first by being able to wait them out. You know what I'm saying? The guys that gotta feel like, yeah, they gotta put on trades every single day, and that was me. You know what I'm saying? The job of looking at my job as a trader, I'm thinking I gotta put on a trade every day, but really my job is to be a speculator. And with speculating, first rule of speculating is survival. Second rule of speculating is patience. You know what I'm saying? Because speculating is all about psychology. You know what I'm saying? Outweighing your opponent. You know what I'm saying? And then when you're on that, it's like, all right, cool. My opportunity is not today, and I can study my opponent, which is the market. You know what I'm saying? I can study my opponent, see what happens, see what it's doing. You know what I'm saying? Even look at this, provided a great. This candle,
Friday, great.
this
It was
candle
so
closed
good.
great.
Yeah, it just.
But the
it's
spread
that-
is
it's
crazy.
those nuance. We still like this trade looks sexy, but we would not have been able.
You wouldn't have been able to afford it.
Yeah, I would have had to pass on it. I'm gonna put an extra 30 points.
Even
on
when
it.
the
I like to play
ES
2 and 50, so that's the works way over budget.
Even the ES, bro, closed at 88. SL4 say your stop had to be under 70 at least, but really under last week high 62. So you couldn't even afford it, even if you take out all the
Yeah, 'cause it
nuances
closed at 88.
of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
take out
but-
all the nuances of it being a breakout day and everything. You're looking at these trades aren't trades.
Yeah, they're not. They're not.
They're like they're literally not trades.
They're not trades, bro.
They're
'Cause
literally
it's
like
no R, especially
it's
how
no
long-
RR.
It's no RR back to the high.
it's
That's
no
how
it's
you know
no
trade.
it's no return on investment back to the high.
Yeah,
It's
return
no
on investment.
entry. It's no entry because the candle closed at 88. My stop got to be at 62. That's 25 points on the ES.
Yeah.
That's not happening. You know what I'm saying? So you
For
feel
real.
me?
And then even like I told you, you had that Thursday high, and that Monday high showing between 86 and 81.
Mhm.
And then you had that break even you would have been break even 10 points away from 86 at 96 at Tuesday high. And literally you play these three lines right here, and there was a setup there, but it wouldn't have. No stop under the swing well. There's no way you would have been able to get it under 72. Would have closed
And I
like
love that.
88. You know what I mean?
That's
But,
where
like,
you're just able to do your
but you
process.
see
You
how-
can see it clear.
you see it clear, bro. Like you see it clear. Like it played out. Like that's even why that trade works. Like, bro, look at it. Like it played out perfectly between the daily levels.
Mm-hmm. I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm saying? I can appreciate that.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
You feel me? And I'm not. I'm just trying to see it clear.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because it's all trying to see it clear. I'm building up for my campaign. You know what I'm saying? There's another person campaign going on.
Campaign going on.
Feel
That's
me?
why I don't get it.
That's why it ain't for me. I gotta stay out the way, let my boy get his bread. Because if I don't, then he gonna be making his campaign off my liquidity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can't do that. All right, guys, about to take a break. Breakout trades in effect. It's 10:12. We got the ES over previous day high, NQ over previous day high, right? Double check for me.
Yeah, everything.
Everything.
ES over previous day high.
Everything but the lagger.
NQ over previous day high, and just made a new all-time high. NQ just made a new
Damn,
all-time
NQ just
high.
made another
YM.
Look at the ES.
Is about
gassed, bro.
Yeah, bro. Even the
This
YM,
shit's so
YM fucking
easy for the
gas.
breakout trader right now.
Yeah.
Like for the breakout person on his campaign. That's why you gotta wait on your campaign.
Yeah,
This
because
nigga campaign been going on
It's
for
so
7
easy.
days
7
straight.
days straight. It's willing it. And like, bro,
Feel me?
when we started tracking the wow. When we started tracking our campaign went 7 for 7, and then it changed. You get what I mean?
Exactly.
Plugging that up.
Gotta come in a little.
There you go. Bro, that shit went 7. That shit is going 7 for 7 right now.
Yeah, it's gone.
The campaign that it's on. So that shit should be changing soon, bro.
The campaign is on. It's gone,
That shit should
man.
be changing soon.
Like for real. That bitch gone. All right, man. I'm about to take a little break. About to roll up. I roll up real quick. We gonna put on my boy Kevin. Got the good old news. Get some-
Kevin is still not live.
Kevin still ain't live. Yeah, it's a dead day. All right, we're gonna keep fast markets on, guys. Overall, though, I'm here with you. Trade safe. Follow your rules. Wait for your opportunity. The job is to wait. I'll be back.
Trade, then it's probably not. My idea is probably not valid at that point.
Gotcha.
So that's the risk. And then we talk about
like that.
wider risk. So that's kind of, that's 40-point risk, which is, I guess, on the lower end. But a combination of using the ATR and try and kind of market structure and candles, if you want to place your stops around candles. But that's kind of in line with ATR.
Awesome stuff. I like that where you said, Braden, where that risk is based on market structure and not a dollar amount, right? Where it could be, hey, I don't want to lose more than X amount of dollars in the trade, and then that risk is somewhere where the market has proven it can trade already. But this trade idea is invalid if the hourly candle flips red, where you're allowing the market to decide where it's wrong, and then seeing if we continue to get a push here. So nice idea again, Braden Long from 748 here in the micro NASDAQ. Crude getting a push here, 64.17 last trade in crude oil.
Somebody asked what ATR is, average true range. So it's just like the average of, it's usually like the previous 14 candles, I think, but I suppose you could change that. It gives you an idea of how, the reason we talked about it for adjusting stops, it gives you an idea of, how much the markets are moving in the time frame you're looking at and adapting to it, if that's what you want to do.
Adapting to market-generated information. S&P's pushing highs here of the New York session, 67.07 last trade over there, overnight high, which is an all-time high in the S&P, 67.1975. Jack, I know you were looking at 12s here, which looked like a rejection after this jobless claims number came out this morning. Let's see if we get a push into
Yeah,
these 67
up,
12s here.
up around here, I would expect there to be at least some hesitation. We get the 66.12, that's 66.50 in the SPX. Right now, what the Russie's up 1.7, Nasdaq 1.2, ES up 3/4 of a point. So not huge moves yet. Although the higher we go, the more huge the percentage moves look like. Right, a percent move now with the ES at 6,700 is double that of a few years ago when it was at 3,300 or something, half of it. So a lot of movement.
A lot of movement for sure. Seeing a little bit of size here up at 67.10s in the S&P, about 300 contracts sitting there. About another 200 at 67.08. Not seeing so much in the NASDAQ. Again, go ahead, Braden.
Sorry, we're getting some really nice consolidation just under the all-time highs on NQ. I guess because we're playing catch-up with ES, but this is really nice price action to be consolidating like this right under the all-time highs. So looks good.
Looking at a so you're looking at a 1 minute. So you use a 1 minute, 1 minute and an hourly. So
Yeah, I'll
kind of
use like the
flatten
1 minute,
one.
1 minute hourly, 5 minute. I guess I jump around a little bit, probably more than I should, but yeah, when I'm playing it, like the tighter I'm playing it, I guess the lower time frame I go to look at it, and that maybe it's paranoia or something. But yeah, I mean I'm in it pretty high, so I'm looking at the 1 minute for whatever reason on this setup.
Somebody
New all-time
wanted
highs
to
in
say,
the NASDAQ.
yeah,
Go ahead,
somebody
Jack.
wanted to see the Intel chart. So who am I to disappoint? Here's the Intel chart, what it looks like since this morning. Let's zoom out and put this in a date. Look at that little guy up there. It's a happy little guy. Yeah. As you can see, here's where we dumped Nada's money into it. And it got cut from 30 to 18.
Yeah.
Then, playing in a pretty tight range here. And this is the type of move that just wrecks, obviously, short. I just can't keep laughing at that little bar there. This is regular trading hours. That's why there's that huge gap. But
Right.
yeah, until this wants to forget about this whole period here. What a chart.
Got some comments from the president here. Meeting with the UK. We are committed to ensuring the UK has a supply of reliable AI. Tech deal will ensure the UK and US lead next great tech revolution side by side. Trump also saying the stock market has hit a new high. Does anyone remember earlier this year when we saw that huge sell-off and the president said, "I'm not even looking at the stock market"? Thought that was interesting.
I mean, like he looks at it.
Come on, you're looking at the
He's
stock
gonna
market.
tweet it. Is
Right.
now a good time to buy? That's what. If we ever get our press
Yeah.
pool thing, that's what I'm gonna ask every time.
2 weeks before that, he said, "I'm not even looking at the stock market." We continue to sell off, and then he said, "Yep, now is a good time to buy." Come on, that is not even a political thing. You're looking at the stock market, right? We look at it every day. And speaking of looking at it, looking at the Nasdaq make new all-time highs here, 24,775 and 24,776 new all-time highs in the Nasdaq. Every new high tick of the day is a new all-time high. We've got Braden long, nice trade here from 24,748. Nice trade. Sometimes it could be a scary trade to buy the highs, Braden, but when that flow is as strong as it is, you're just getting in with the trend, right? Getting with the trend, identifying where risk is. Sometimes traders look at it where it can be a pretty scary stop loss if you're looking at lows of the day, but you don't need to take that whole risk, right? Like you said, identify where the trade is invalidated and catch on a piece of the trend.
Definitely.
Great stuff here. Up near these 67.12s here, Jack. in the S&P, 67.09 last trade over there. Gold 36.71 half, and crude oil a little bit off of its high, 64.05 last trade here in crude oil. Speaking of establishing your risk and knowing where you're wrong on a trade, we know this is trading. There's nothing that is 100%. So our tip of the week is for any trader that has taken a loss today, this week, or at any point in your trading. Clear your mind after taking a loss in trading. Make sure you take a break, analyze your mistakes calmly, right? Assess what you did right, what you did wrong, and if the market just didn't agree with your trade idea, regain your mental clarity and avoid emotional trading. Make sure that the next time you go to click the button, you're doing so with a clear mind and not trying to make it all back in one trade. Especially if you put your grandma's inheritance in Intel, you want to clear your mind after that, so you can think clearly for your next trading decision. So tip of the week: make sure you clear your mind after a losing trade.
Well, we're breaking outside of this. If we're going super long term here, this is the SPX going back. We're breaking out of this channel right now. These are weekly candles. For those not familiar, those two blue circles are when I had children, which is the undefeated economic indicator to sell. Here's the Trump tweet. But yeah, this goes back a few
Breaking out of
years.
that trend line. That's on a
Bullish.
that's a
What?
weekly chart we're looking at there.
Weekly candles. What a friggin' rally this has been since
Man, seriously.
said tweet.
Jack, pull up the monthly if you can, real quick.
Yeah.
The wick in April is like the wick of all wicks.
Let's zoom in. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Look at that thing.
Oh yeah.
Close above that, and we are just all-time highs ever since. Did look like a pretty good time to buy stocks, I guess. So, Braden, with this trade, I know you were talking about potentially adding to this if we do see some volume. What gets you into adding into this trade, if at all?
Well, the thing is with adding, if you don't get like a very, very low entry, like if we didn't take that morning reversal, the fact is that I this is a high entry. It just is what it is. So I need to have a starter position, which I have, and then we need to see some strong movement away from my entry. And then because what I need is, if I'm going to be adding, I'm going to be averaging up into the trade. If I'm adding size into a trade, I really don't want to add risk to the trade. So, well, I need a strong move away from my entry, which we kind of got. But well, you kind of need the market to work with you. You need a strong move away from your entry so that you can buy the pullbacks whenever we get retracements. You also need the pullbacks not to be too deep, because as you're kind of following that market and sizing into your position and your average is going up, I like to keep my stops break even when I do that. So I would like to see like a move through 800s, and then
So somebody, in one trade paid for their course, the Meet Kevin membership. Hopefully now it's just straight up from there. So good for them. But yeah, again, this is normal. This is what you expect when yields move the way they are.
Take what you do best and create a website that's worthy of it. With AI website creation from Wix, every click is an opportunity to shape your brand, fine-tune your design, generate content in seconds, and showcase what you love so others will love it too. It's your business, your website. You do it yourself on Wix.
Monday.com, the opposite of any work platform we tried in the past. We tried other work management platforms, not naming names.
With some other news here. So let's go plop up some news to peek at, and let's see what we got. Obviously, we got the NVIDIA news, which I think is fantastic. Great U.S. support for more U.S. manufacturing, which is critical for the future of independence, energy, like chip independence. This is more than like energy independence, like with oil, chip independence. So let's go through a little bit of that. And I'm going to write down some notes here as well. So if you're using the Meet Kevin app, you could see some of those notes. So the NVIDIA deal. So today, NVIDIA Intel deal. NVIDIA Intel. Okay. So I'm going to go to the NVIDIA newsroom statement here. And let's see what we have here. So NVIDIA and Intel to jointly develop multi-generations of custom data center and PC products to accelerate applications. So this is interesting. So NVIDIA basically could then give, this is like an IP protection play is I feel like what this partly is. It's, hey, we're gonna try to make sure we keep our technology and our latest and greatest designs maybe inside the United States. I do think some of this is probably driven by Donald Trump, and the Trumpian move of, hey, like y'all need to help out NVIDIA here if you want any hope of removing some of these extra fees we charge y'all, the export tariffs. So, that's just weird. My mouse, why would that happen? My mouse profile like logged out, my Logitech mouse profile. So now my shortcuts aren't working. That's a pisser. Yeah, what the hell? At least some of them. Why would it do that? I don't want to have to set all that crap up again. Man, that's annoying. All right, whatever. Okay. So the company will focus on seamlessly connecting NVIDIA and Intel architecture using NVLink, integrating the strength of NVIDIA AI, that's fine, and the accelerating compute with Intel's leading CPU technologies at x86 to deliver cutting-edge solutions. Oh, interesting. So NVIDIA is going to work with that, with the x86 platform. NVIDIA will help develop on the x86 platform. So think of this as like Intel's, two primaries. Primary architectures are going to be your x86 or ARM. Well, I should call it RISC, like RISC-V. ARM is one of them, etc. Right? So for data centers, Intel will build NVIDIA custom x86 CPUs. Wow! So they're announcing new NVIDIA CPUs on x86. That's very interesting. To integrate into AI. For personal compute, Intel will build x86 SoCs that integrate on chiplets. Wow. Now that's really interesting. So system on chips on top of RTX GPU chiplets. Now that's quite interesting. I'm curious to see how that'll look. So it's sort of like a like a GPU with its own CPU, right? Because think about like that's actually really interesting. Your computer, your motherboard usually has a CPU and a small motherboard GPU, right? The motherboard GPU, I guess motherboard is one word. The motherboard GPU sucks. Like you're not usually ever going to run anything on it, but it's good enough to give you a display, like if you have a graphic card issue or whatever. But this is very interesting because, this combo is common for, redundancy on motherboard or on motherboard in a PC, but CPU on graphic card, very interesting. I don't know that we've seen that before. So that I think is very interesting. That's typically what we see. So that's, this combo, let me clarify this, of CPU on the GPU, or sorry, this combo of a GPU on motherboard is a very common redundancy on motherboards, but a CPU on a graphic card, very interesting, potentially novel. I'm not sure that that's been done before. But Mr. Jack, you want to come say hi one more time? Oh, could you give it to me? So, that's even better then. It's there. See ya. Oh. Yeah, that is a very interesting collaboration here. I'm gonna just ask, like, thank you, sir. I'm gonna go into like GPT and just say, hey, has a CPU ever been installed on a GPU? Kind of like how GPUs are also on motherboards, but they usually suck, right? So inverse of an APU where the CPU integrates the GPU. Okay, I guess that's probably the better way to put it, is that it's not really a GPU on the motherboards. That's already inside the CPU, common for redundancy on the CPU. Okay, but a CPU and a graphic card. Okay, what exists today, AMD and others already integrate CPUs and GPUs onto a single package, but those are CPU-centric products, not GPU-centric. Okay, interesting. So let's write that down. That makes sense. AMD includes GPUs in CPUs, but again, not GPU-centric. NVIDIA Grace Hopper pairs CPU, the Grace, with Hopper, but those are separate. That's just an NVLink. The M series chips from Apple, but those are really, those, we don't really think of those as like, anything more than a really good CPU, right? So Apple M series is really a strong CPU with GPU in it, but we wouldn't use the M series, I feel like, for, like AI or gaming, right? CPU on a GPU is rare. GPUs are optimized for parallel throughput, CPUs for latency and general purpose work. To put a real CPU on a GPU core risks thermal inefficiency. Okay, fine, whatever. Solve the problem with an NVLink instead. So it is novel. Yeah, like this isn't done. This would be very new. This would be very new to have a CPU x86 SoC on an RTX chiplet. That's interesting to me. So okay. All right. So, and again, this is not to be confused. To me, this is not to be confused with the old APU style. The CPU has a GPU. That again is CPU first. This partnership sounds GPU first, with the enhancement of a GPU having its own CPU. Man, take a shot every time I end an acronym with a U. Wow, you'd be dead. Don't do that. Okay, and I think that's very interesting. NVIDIA will also invest $5 billion into Intel. Okay, so we got a $5 billion investment. $5 billion into Intel stock. This is such an interesting line to me. Get a screenshot that one, because I'm curious to see what they can do with that. I don't know if it's necessary today, but I'm curious to see what they end up coming up with that. AI is the new industrial revolution. That's old news. We've heard them say that before. x86 architect, foundational to CPU. Yeah, this is just, bragging about, like, hey, we made an investment in Intel. Intel is great, by the way. All right. So this is for data center products. Intel will build custom x86 CPUs that NVIDIA will integrate into its. Okay, so I feel like that's for personal computing. Oh, wow. That's really interesting. So, to be clear, Intel is going to partner with NVIDIA for server CPUs. In personal, that's where you're going to see CPUs on GPUs. Wow. That's novel. Okay. NVIDIA's buying Kamisawa. Okay, we saw that. This aligns with the government's goals. We know that. This is old news. That's old news. Okay. I like it. I think it's a very interesting deal. And NVIDIA basically doesn't lose here because they probably got the Trump blessing, So NVIDIA probably got the Trump blessing that NVIDIA wouldn't lose on this $5 billion investment. So, really low risk for NVIDIA here. And that's supportive of the Qs. Mind you, that's also why we were bullish this morning in pre-market on the Qs, because we thought that broadly this is sort of NVIDIA push in markets would be really good. I mean, NVIDIA's up 3% right now. That's huge. I mean, it's a massive company. I mean, it's just really back to where it was a few days ago. So is it really that big of a deal? No. But it means like all this, like the China bull crap basically just got undone. All right. So this concern, I should say, concern of NVIDIA being banned by China for purchase by Chinese companies basically just evaporated market cap wise as NVIDIA is up 30%, which is roughly what it was down. Oh, it was down like 2.5 or whatever on the China fears, yesterday or day before or whatever. Okay. Cool. So, no way. American Express is finally waking up. Look at this. American Express is boosting the fee for its platinum card to $895 and adding $1,500 in other perks. Now, you might recall that we did a really massive deep dive into the Chase Sapphire card and the Capital One card. My opinion is that you pick one of the three ecosystems. You either pick the Capital One card, which I have an affiliate link for below. I think you get some bonus points if you use my link. Paid promotion. I think I have the Halo button for that too.
Paid promotion.
But that's my affiliate link. So best travel card. I use the Capital One. But Sapphire is the other option. And then we were looking at American Express and we're like, dude, American Express is lagging behind like a competitive offering right now. What's going on? So it sounds like they finally revamped it. American Express Platinum. Let's go see. I'm kind of excited to see what it is. Yeah, the website was updated 7 hours ago. Okay, let's see it. Platinum card. There's nothing like it. $895 now. It's just the price keeps going up. Let me turn my highlighter on. I don't know. Like I feel like Google just signed me out of everything. YouTube, my mouse, my highlighter tool, everything's just getting signed out. You can't highlight on AmericanExpress.com. Why? All right. That doesn't sound right. Okay. I can't highlight on AmericanExpress.com. All right. So what else do we have here? So $895 for the Platinum card. Now in a limited edition mirror design. I don't really care. All right. So how are you going to give me money? You're going to give me 5x points on flights and hotels. I don't think that's changed at all. $600 hotel credit for which hotels, though? Get up to $300 back semi-annually on fine hotels or the hotel collection. Yeah, but those are expensive. So those are pricey. $200 airline credit when you select a qualifying airline. That's annoying. Uber Cash. Well, that's good. $15 a month. I like that. Statement credits each calendar year for Uber One. So they'll pay for your Uber One membership. All right. Okay. So like I would probably do the Uber One membership. I generally burn the Uber money. The fine resorts and hotels, the $600. I don't know if that's going to be good. Do they have primary yet on the car? They have, let's see here. It doesn't say here. If they don't have primary car insurance, it's honestly a pain in the butt. Marriott Bonvoy Gold. That's kind of weak, honestly. Marriott Bonvoy Gold is like bottom barrel at this point. Resi for whatever. Digital entertainment subscriptions. What do you give it? All right, well that's nice. YouTube, you could get your YouTube Premium. $25 each month. Okay, that's pretty good. I mean, the card honestly probably paid for itself if you set this stuff up. You can receive $75 in Lululemon credits every quarter. I mean, I could get this card paid for with the digital entertainment credit alone because I'll, put the YouTube Premium fee on it or New York Times subscription or whatever. I'll take the Uber One credit. I'll take the $200 of Uber Cash. And then, I still need, I'm at $620 of that fee saved. I don't really care about the Lulu. I don't know. These aren't that good. I was honestly expecting way better than this. They raised the fee and they didn't really change that much. Because this fine resorts and hotels one, those are always the expensive ones. And I don't think you get primary car coverage on the rental card. Let me see if there's a link to terms here. Terms. Rental car. Primary insurance. Let me go collision. Waiver. Rental car privileges. No, I can't even find it. Insurance. Rental car privileges. These are just certain partnerships they have. Cell phone protection. Oh, well, that's nice. No additional coverage. I mean, that could save you, $15 a month on Apple Care or whatever, depending on what their deductibles are. Trip cancellation, trip delay, baggage insurance. There. Car rental coverage. View benefit guide. Okay. Waiver. Okay, here we go. So it doesn't say that you waive their insurance. Without like reading this word for word, the fact that they don't indicate yeah, the fact they don't say it, it's a bit of a lie. I'm disappointed. I'm actually disappointed in this. This is a very weak offering. This the Sapphire honestly way better, or the Capital One card. That's weak, because if I compare to what it was, see, look, this is what we wrote the last time we analyzed the MX, I wrote down that it's $695 fee and it's probably going up towards the end of the year. 5X or 5X. But I could get 5X on flights at Capital One, and I can get 10X on hotels at Capital One, and I could get 8X on Sapphire for each of them. So, you know, either 5 and 10 or 8 and 8, and Amex is at 5 and 5. So it still sucks. You do get a potential business boost, but then you'd have to have two of these cards, business and personal. The secondary rental coverage sucks. And then they took away $200 credit for a hotel, and they turned it into a credit for their premium hotels. Dude, that's lame, man. That's lame. Man, I'm disappointed. I don't know. I'm disappointed in the Platinum update. That's sad. All right. I'm pretty sure the Sapphire's primary coverage in the Sapphire and Capital One are, I'm pretty sure, primary. At least what I wrote down last time. So, see, primary rental car coverage on Capital One, but maybe can't remember. The preferred got nerfed. Very similar. That's points redemption. No, you're right. This is. Oh.
Alright guys, just tapping in. My Mac was about to die, so got a little bit choppy on us. Still no trade right now. Price is in breakout territory on ES still, NQ, and YM touch previous day high as well. So breakout rule still in effect. 10:48. Be here for until about 11:30, but looking like a no trade day. So just wanted to tap in with you guys. Appreciate everybody that's here. Make sure you guys tap into the Discord, like the video. We're here, being patient. Being patient, and yeah, just tapping in with you guys. So keep watching this Meet Kevin, and we're here, boys.
Through their collection hotels, likely much more expensive than they. What else did they change? Still secondary vehicle coverage, MX, or Platinum card updates. I'm still pissed about their card redemption, their points redemptions. Total, I still feel scammed. In just a moment here, but just quickly, $895 fee is up $200. Still 5x hotel flights, whereas a Sapphire is 8x, and Capital One is 10 and 5. So make sure I'm not missing anything. And then the other benefits seem mostly the same. Other benefits mostly the same. Sad. All right. Okay, so Novo Nordisk, let's see. Uber will trial food deliveries by drone. That's awesome. Huawei, multi-year plan to challenge NVIDIA. That's fine. Everybody's going to get into it. There's a lot of money in designing chips. Donald Trump hints at good news coming on Russia. Initial claims drop most in almost 4 years, but that's coming off of this peak from last week, which Texas said was fraud. So I think the title is a little misleading because, you know, claims are still elevated in the 30s. Why Mini drivers are the newest one? Okay. Let's see here. And nothing really actually exciting at the Doomers. Okay, let's try. Yeah, it's just signed out of everything today. The most annoying thing ever. I hate having to re-sign into all these profiles. Just a pain in the butt, bro. Sorry, I want to sign into the journal. Wall Street Journal. Let's see what the journal has today. Okay. For the journal today, executives at XAI clashed with Musk's advisor before departing. Ooh, these are always juicy gossip stories, which often are quite entertaining, honestly. So let's see what we have here. Hold on, let's fix this. All right, there we go. All right, cool. Let's see what the juicy gossip is. Some who left say they were concerned about AI and the company's financial projections. Why? Dude, I just logged in. Stupid crap. Do it again. Freaking paywalls. All right, that's what I'm here for, to make it all a little easier for us. I can just get things to function today. There we go. I'm in. I'm deep. I'm going deep. We're snowballing, boys. All right, let's see. Let's also get rid of that. Instead, we'll do that. All right. Several executives at XAI left after clashing with two of Musk's closest advisors over the company's financial health. Two advisors, Jared Birchall. This is Elon's right-hand guy who does like his investments and stuff like that, right? I have not heard of a chip created using bismuth. Some of XAI's executives voiced objections internally about how Birchall and Herring were trying to run the company on Musk's behalf. They felt there was no formal chain of command. That doesn't surprise me. Some XAI executives said they left because they were concerned that some of the company's financial projections were unrealistic. Okay. Oh. Yep. They also raised questions internally about the role of Elon Musk's family office succession, in managing some of XAI's cash and accounting. And, you know, anytime there are allegations of like commingling, where you're, using the funds of one entity to pay for that of another, very sketch. But I feel like that's probably, Elon's got enough money. I feel like it's probably just, Elon being Elon, dare I say. The suggestion the financials are improper is false and defamatory. Spiro, not Shapiro. This is Elon's lawyer. That's fine. He does good for Elon. This is another good confidant. Let's see. XAI says it has confidence in their projections. Do they have any insights here? I think they're just trying to beat up on Elon again. Disagreements continue. Whatever. Someone else was involved in helping crises at Tesla, is now at XAI. Musk has promised to build the world's smartest artificial intelligence. He merged the startup with X, his social media platform. Company needs to continue with its fundraising to keep up with rivals' heavy spending on data centers. Yeah, that's always the biggest red flag is how much you have to blow on the hardware. All right. I mean, that's not so surprising. What is this? Sounds like a great time for Tesla. All right, whatever. Let's go into this. Here we have OpenAI's funding challenges loom over Oracle Broadcom spree. OpenAI in the past 9 months has committed to spend around $60 billion a year for computing from Oracle. These are a lot of basically commitments they made. $10 billion in custom chips, $60 billion on infrastructure, $18 billion on data center venture. Okay. How will it pay for such outsized ambitions? OpenAI loses billions of dollars a year and told investors it plans to make $13 billion of revenue this year. So $13 billion of revenue, but losing money. Less than 3 years. Well, because the thesis is that they're, trying to, it's like growth at all costs, basically, is the game plan in AI right now. I don't know how sustainable that is, but whatever. Let's see. Fate of OpenAI's massive commercial deals relies on what's increasingly like an uncertain prospect, the need for hundreds of millions of people to pay a lot more money for the tools and services. AI spending is projected to reach $3 trillion by 2028. Rests on the assumption that people keep paying for AI services. Only about 3% of consumers pay for AI services. Oh, that's a really interesting data fact right there. Wow. People use chatbots and other models for a variety of tasks that is so diffuse. There's a long way to go. That's a fascinating stat. AI stat. Report via Wall Street Journal that only 3% of consumers pay for AI services. $12 billion of total spend by consumers. That's why I love reading. You get these tiny little insights. 8 in 10 companies report no significant bottom line impact of using AI products. Well, yeah, because they haven't fired the people yet. Push GDP up. Those are the goals. How's OpenAI going to pay for all this stuff? Whatever. I do think also summarizing these commitments from OpenAI is very interesting. OpenAI spend commitments. So they are committing to $60 billion in data center spend from Oracle. They're committing to $18 billion for data center venture. And then $10 billion for custom chips. That's nuts. Okay. Fascinating. How's last stand balancing a tricky economy? It's boring. We talked enough about the Fed. Here's the Amex Platinum. Oh, they did a comparison on it too. I think it's great that they're doing a comparison here. I want to look at this. The Resi $300 in credits is new as well. And then throw the fee comparison up. Overhaul is in the battle against Capital One, JPM. Oh, great stat. Top 10%. Top 10% of spenders accounted for 49.2% of all spending. This is per the Wall Street Journal. It shows you this is an economy led by the rich. Sapphire, Capital One. What's here? $400 credit. Oh, wait, it's 400 through Resi. Wow. What were the details on the Resi credit though? American Express Platinum card. This one. $100 each quarter through Resi. But who uses Resi? Does anybody use Resi? I don't even know what Resi is. I'm assuming it's some reservation service like OpenTable. $100 per quarter. I don't know. Or so Cafe Fiore, book tonight. Yeah, it's just a booking service. Oh, okay, so it is like OpenTable. All right. Saving credits are becoming a popular way for issuers to bulk up the advertised value. Blah, blah, blah. Merchants are tightening the rules on how credits are spent. Most cardholders use a fraction of the rewards available to them. Of course. Amex now has a dashboard. Yeah, for the people who care. Oh, Chase added a $250 hotel credit to its Sapphire. Nice. We need Capital One to step it up then. Chase yesterday added $250 hotel credit to Sapphire to compete with new Amex offering updates. Wow. Okay. Let's see. How to handle a job market that's worse than it looks. All right. Take a look. All right. The official story of the job market is finally catching up to harsh reality. Job seekers have complained. Nobody will listen. Normal people don't look at job numbers. Indicating that this is just. I don't think there's a lot of value in that. All right. Wall Street Journal, you're boring. What does the Times have? A lot of talk about these Kimmel, the Kimmel firing. A lot of talk. Trump, I don't regret inviting Putin to Alaska. Okay. Trump says Kimmel should have been fired a long time ago. Not surprised I didn't even say that. Trump's getting everyone fired. All right. Tiffany Trump cruised on an oil mogul's yacht as her father-in-law talked oil deals. Man, that sounds fun. The vacation amid diplomatic talks on oil industry expansion is a measure of how hard it is to tell where the interests of the government end and those of the Trump's family begin. Well, yeah. Oh, hold on, what's this?
Eamon Javers says it. Hey, Eamon. Carl, that's right. The president just wrapping up a joint press conference with Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK, at Chequers. That's Keir Starmer's country house. The president was asked about TikTok and his deal with the Chinese. The president said he's got to wait until he has a call with Xi Jinping tomorrow to firm up the details. He was asked specifically if the American owners, the new American owners of the company, will have to invent their own algorithm or if they'll be using the legacy Chinese algorithm. He didn't directly answer that question, but he did make some comments on TikTok. Here's what he said.
So what we're doing, and we're speaking to President Xi on Friday to see if we can finalize something on TikTok, because there is tremendous value, and I hate to give away value, but I like TikTok. It helped get me elected. In fact, Charlie said, "Sir, you ought to get on TikTok. You'd be great." I said, "Really? Tell me about TikTok." And we, as you know, we did unbelievably well with youth, like at a level that no Republican has ever even dreamt of. And in what, look, I think we won it for a lot of reasons, but that was a reason we won the election by such a big number. TikTok has tremendous value. The United States has that value in its hand because we're the ones that have to approve it. I specifically get the right to approve it. The people that are investing it are among the greatest investors in the world, the biggest, the richest. I can say this, that you'll have a lot of very unhappy youth, and I use TikTok very legitimately, very straight, just statements every day, little statements, short statements. "Sir, make it short, please." And TikTok Jack, we call him. He was pretty good. Did a good job for me, I guess. But
all right, guys, that's my cue. I'm about to get on up out of here, man. Price still breaking out on NASDAQ. ES as well, still over yesterday's high, so breakout rules are in effect. But yeah, overall good patient day. Process was A1. Shout out my partner boss behind the boards. About to get up out of here, man. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, 9:30 a.m. Road to live funding continues, man. No trades at all this week. Every day's been a breakout day, but it's been cool, man. Just been able to digest the news. We still got one more big factor coming tomorrow with the previous contract expiring, so all the volume will be in the December contract, which is the contract on screen. So that should provide some smooth trading, either tomorrow, but most likely next week, with this interest rate decision behind us and the rollover behind us. So definitely protect the capital this week, mentally and physical capital in the accounts. So all in all, man, doing the job to the best of our ability, man, and it's been great. So appreciate everybody for tapping in. Please like, subscribe, comment, tap in with us on the Discord, man. We're here every day for the remainder of the year, man. Fourth quarter is going to be strong, and we're going full speed, man. So I appreciate everybody, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. It's your boy Corey, and I'm about to tap up out of here, man. You guys trade safe. Have a great day. Go touch some grass. We'll catch y'all